So let me share my screen. Okay, let me know if you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, we are able to see.
Yeah. In previous session, like we covered the topics, the points and topics are like we discussed about the various different various RPA scenarios, okay, like PDF automation, email automation, web scraping, Excel automation, and still more actually, like there are a few more like combination of these tasks, okay. So these are all generic scenarios for RPA in our regular, in day-to-day activities in various organizations. And RPA use cases like we have seen in various industries, right from the healthcare domain to financial domain, banking domain, IT domain, and manufacturing, and different other like there are so many like industries or domains where this RPA is implementing, and they are taking the advantage of RPA in their respective domains. Okay, and we have seen the RPA life cycle. Okay, I'll put that slide, okay, to understand. Okay, so I have just discussed about the RPA life cycle, right from the discovery, like identifying the scenarios or identifying the opportunities in our current organization to convert that into robotic process automation to get the maximum benefit. And once it is identified, then it is been it will undergo some approval process to convert that process into robotic process automation. Then we'll come up with solution designing, and then bot development. And once it is done, it is properly tested by testing team, and then it is being deployed into the next environment, the UAT environment, and then users will be testing, and then it is released to the production. In the production, it will be maintained by the production support team or L3 team. Okay, and we have seen various editions of UiPath. Okay, so community edition, it is freely downloadable and free for lifetime. And there is a trial version of enterprise edition and the enterprise edition. So UiPath installation, like I have created a document. We will go through that document today. We will see the steps actually. What are the steps involved in installation of UiPath community edition? And major UiPath components: UiPath Studio, UiPath Robot, UiPath Orchestrator. We have discussed like what are the, what about these components? Like what are overview of these components? UiPath Studio is mainly used for development of bots. UiPath Robot or Assistant is a runtime running in the developer machine or any individual user machine to run the bot, which is installed in their respective machines or systems. UiPath Orchestrator is a web application where the bots are deployed, scheduled, monitored, and managed to run the, to perform the actual process or task. UiPath architecture. So we have three layers: UiPath, UI layer, service layer or middle layer, DB layer. UI layer is like UiPath Studio IDE that is used for bot development. Middle layer is UiPath Orchestrator, so which actually like which hosts the bots, and it is involved. It is having the configuration of processes, jobs, queues, assets. Okay, these are all the various different components along with the bots. To orchestrate the bots, we need actually these processes, jobs, queues, and assets. Okay, and this information configuration is maintained in the database layer. Okay, robots configuration and assigning process information, queues and queue items. Okay, we will come to know. We'll learn this in detail in future sessions. Okay, this is the previous session, briefly about previous session. Now let us see like what are the steps actually involved in installation of UiPath Community Edition. Okay. So go to the Google and just type UiPath download community edition. You will get the first link, community edition download link. Okay, you can see here. So just click on this link. Okay. You can see community edition preview release. Okay, so there are so many releases will be coming up, but so we will be like community edition. So it is developers edition. Okay, you can click here. And it will be like we need a login credentials to this UiPath Academy. Okay, this is a UiPath site. So either we need to log in with our Google account and or we can create a new account if we don't have any account. I mean, if you don't have any Google account, so then it will. So we see this, right? So in the click on this link. So it will be asking your Google account. Then you can actually use the same Google account to download it. Okay. Just enter the few details, mandatory details, and then just and click next. It is intuitive. Okay, it is easy to follow the installation path. Just give some name. Actually, name of the organization is like you can give some student or like UiPath. Okay, and just then afterwards you will get the, since I have already installed it actually, so in my mission, so I will not be able to show you the installation part, installation 4 steps. This entire installation may take some 30 minutes to 1 hour, not more than that. Okay, so download the UiPath Studio, click this, and then it will download the installer path. It will not completely download the entire software. It will only just it will installer.exe file will be downloaded in your local machine, and then if you need to double click that one, and it will connect to the internet and then download the entire communication software to your local machine and start installation actually. Okay, launch the installer, and once it is finishes downloading, okay, so it will be like this actually in your local machine. UiPath UiPath Studio Community Edition. Okay, it's an installer file. Just double click this one and you follow the steps. Okay, they're not very complex. Okay, just it will come like this. The screens will become like this. Okay, recently I installed, okay, in my local system. So just go with the default settings, default settings which is given in the screens. Okay, because this is custom, it is recommended for enterprise or advanced users, which is involves the licensing. Okay, so we don't require it right now. Then just accept the terms and condition and just click the install. So it will download all the product related to the UiPath Studio, and then it will install it in your local system. Okay, so while installation, you need to close all the Chrome or like any like Edge, all browser instances. Okay, like we might be using some different browsers, right, like Firefox or like Chrome or like Edge, Microsoft Edge. Okay, so all these we need to close it, because this downloader will install some extensions on various browsers. Okay, that is the reason it has. We need to close all the browser instances. So once it is completed, you will be like, once it is successfully installed, it will be like you will be getting the screenshot like this. Okay, dialog like this, completed the UiPath setup, then launch the UiPath Studio. Okay, just it will be, it will open this cloud.uipath.com dialog. Okay, this is the cloud orchestrator where you will be like installing our bots. Okay, so this is the cloud of community edition. So in the architecture we discussed about the orchestrator, right? Orchestrator will be in the cloud. Okay, so just keep it in mind. Okay, so once it is successfully installed, right, so we can actually log in. See, once here, right, we need to log in with the Google account. Okay, if we install it with our Google account, so the dialog is in login dialog you can see here. Once it is once we successfully log in, just click on this UiPath Studio, choose a profile. So Studio X, you can ignore it. Okay, it's not for it is for business users. It is not having the development features, complete development features. It is just like to for business users, they will have to like give the workflows. Flow charts or like some pseudo code or like logic. So for them it is, we need to use the UiPath Studio X. This is not having the development components. UiPath Studio will be having the complete development components. So for our course, we need to choose this UiPath Studio. Once we choose that, we will be like we will see the launch of UiPath Studio like this. Okay, this is the first screen of UiPath Studio. So this is the UiPath Studio complete screenshot. Okay, once you can see like this. Okay, once so after successful installation, you can see the UiPath Studio like this. Okay, you can see here bottom project activities snippets. Okay, so this is a sample project which I have created to test it after the successful installation. Just installation is successful. Just I created one small bot. So I just given a message through. I ran the bot and it is it has given the appropriate given message. So you can see, I will show you that UiPath Studio. These versions will be like 2022, right? So currently I am 2022. For you will be like seeing a different one. Okay, 2022 will be there, but the versions, okay, versioning, sub versions will be might be different. Okay, so you can ignore that currently. So this is the starting screen. So where you can select open a local project or clone local project. Here is a new project, process, library, test automation, template. Okay, mainly like we will be dealing with the process and the library. Test automation, we need the professional version. We may not be able to perform something, but I will just discuss about like what is test automation through UiPath Studio in coming sessions. Okay, just click something and just here languages, either we can select VB or C#. Okay, anything we can select. Just okay. Just some comments. Okay, just give some comments. So this is the UiPath Studio. So this is the main canvas or main development, canvas or development window. Okay, so this is the project window. Once we create any project, you will see all these files. Okay, this is the project window. You can see the dependencies. These are all the libraries which are used for this project. Okay, if we need to like mail activities, Excel activities, system activities, and automation, UI automation activities. Okay, these are all the basic libraries it will load actually. If we need any further additional dependencies, we may have to go and refer additionally. Okay, and that we will come to know in future sessions. Okay, while we are working on different labs. Okay, this is the main XML. This is the main XML, means this is the main file. Actually, in this file, we will be writing our bot. We will be developing our bot. Okay, its extension is XAML. Okay. Project.json file means it is having the, it will be like having the configuration settings related to this particular project, I mean bot project. Okay, so you will understand this later. Okay, we don't have to worry about this as of now. Okay, I will show you one, I mean I will open the actual main, can click on this, okay, just open the, click on the center and just open it. Okay, once you open this one, so here the activities, we need to go to the activities to develop actual bot. Okay, here we can see favorites means recently like used controls or activities. I mean I made this favorite, but okay, recently used activities, but available, total available activities. Okay, so these are all different activities. Okay, so I just will select a sequence workflow. Just see it. Okay, we will discuss about the sequence workflows in the future. Just to see here actually. Okay, what I'm doing. Just add some one message box. Just enter some value. Enter some text actually. Okay, you see here, value for required activity argument text was not, we have not yet saved. Okay, if you click somewhere over here, that error will go. This is what I said. While we are entering itself, like it will show the error actually, the UiPath. So that is the advantage of UiPath. You can also see the same error here. Value for a required activity argument text was not supplied. Okay, but if I click somewhere here, it will be saved. That error will go. Okay, I clicked outside this activity, so it has gone. Okay, you can see these properties here. The whatever we entered this text property, you can also see here text property. Okay, either we can enter here, today is our demo. Okay, or we can enter here. Okay, we can see this also if we are entering more text, right? So we can actually use this expression editor to enter more, or like a copy from different, I mean if you are copying a paragraph, you can just copy and paste it over here. Okay, and these are all different properties we will see. So message dialog, it will pop up actually. So you can see here automatically closes after 0 seconds, but once it is 0, it will not close. If we set some value, it will close. Okay, we will see that. Just I'm running this bot. So today is our first demo. Okay, so it will not close. If we click OK, it will close. If we go and change some value over here, just some 2 seconds, it will be closed automatically. I'm not doing anything. It will open. It is closed automatically after 2 seconds. Okay, so this is just a small, just for the sake of look and feel, like how the studio looks like. Okay, we'll discuss more in detail about this. And we will also see as a prerequisites, I will be covering C# in next few days. Okay, next maybe some 3-4 days I will be like covering C#. Okay, for that we need to understand, like we will be developing C# programs in Visual Studio using Visual Studio. I will show you that how the Visual Studio we can download it. That's also community developer edition. It's also freely downloadable, and it is free for all community developers. So any questions so far?
I'm good.
Okay, Manoj, what about you? Like you are able to follow?
Yeah, I am followed, sir. No problem.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'll share this document installation steps. Okay. Visual Studio installation steps. Okay. These are very. This is very few steps. Okay. Just to open the Visual Studio download your downloadable URL. Just click here and just open it, and just download the community edition, and then you can just the community edition looks like this. Okay, that web page will be looking like this. Okay, I can just open it and show you. Okay, Visual Studio download Visual Studio. Either you can click here or you can come to the bottom. Just ignore all this one. Just come to the bottom. Just Visual Studio Community 2022. Okay, it's a freely downloadable. It's for students, open source, and individual developers. Okay, earlier it is licensed. Now it is made as a freely downloadable for the because Visual Studio is .NET after evolving the .NET Core, it is .NET Core is like targeted for different heterogeneous operating systems. Before .NET Core, it is only targeted for it is targeted for only Windows operating system. But later, to beat the market competition, Microsoft has come up with the .NET Core. Okay. Main difference between .NET and .NET Core is .NET Core runs on all heterogeneous platforms like Mac, Linux, Unix, and Windows. Okay, whereas .NET we can develop only using Windows operating system. Okay, so just for your information, I'm telling you that may not be like useful for this training. Visual Studio after installation video, I will show you the Visual Studio installation steps. Right? Okay, let's go back to that. This downloading will take some half an hour, so it depends on your internet speed and half an hour to. So you may need same configuration. 8 GB RAM and some 60 GB of free space is there actually, but this takes only hardly some 5 to 10 GB, not more than that. Visual Studio. So download the installer file and run the installer file. We have an option to while downloading itself, it will start installation. And there is another option like once completely downloaded, we can start installation after complete download. Okay, either option we can select. It depends upon you. Once the installation is completed successfully, then completely restart your system. Restart your laptop or desktop. Okay, whatever maybe you are using. So it appears like this. Okay. Visual Studio 22 I recently installed, so it appears like this. Okay, and I want to show some Visual Studio. Visual C#. You can call it as briefly. We can call it as a C#.NET. I'll show you some few examples, which might be like you will get an idea like how object-oriented programming is used, is developed, and we are discussing about few concepts which are used in this C#. Okay, like variables, okay, string operations, and exception handling, events, and like a link and few link queries we will be like discussing, and basically like string expressions also. So those things are generally used in UiPath as well. So for the sake of more knowledge, like additional value addition knowledge, so I will be like covering those few topics as a prerequisites for this for this training program. So there are various types of projects we can create using C#. Okay, like a class library, WPF Windows Presentation Foundation. So how we can actually, like yesterday in previous session, customization also it can be done using UiPath, right? So we can develop a library in C# and this library can be consumed in UiPath. Okay, that is possible. Or in Python also. Python also we can load the script, or we can actually refer to a script which is available in the local folder, or we can inline we can write the Python code and just use that as a so that is also possible. So once it is successfully installed, you can see like this. Okay, from your if you go to the Windows button, it will be like we'll see the Visual Studio folder, 2022 folder, and you see all these components is installed. So this is the Visual Studio 2022 new this is the IDE for Visual Studio. I've shown you that this beginning dialog of Visual Studio. So with this, like installations are completed. Majorly, so as a prerequisites, I will be covering few topics on exactly, may not be like exactly this, but I will just if you give some few examples and show you that how this C# is C# programs can be written, and how this will be like useful in future. In the future sessions of UiPath. So if you see the topics which we are going to cover, I will just run through this. Okay, I'm not going to discuss in detail. So these topics actually we will be covering in all the this entire training program. Introduction part, okay, robotic process automation. So this part we have already covered, and these are the variables, control flows, workflows. Second part, and related labs or related practicals we will do. Excel automation and data tables automation. Excel and data tables we will be covering. Regarding selectors UI Explorer. Okay, UI Explorer is a separate component. You can see that. Web scraping, image and text automation, mail and PDF automation. How the projects are organized. Okay, how the projects are, we have seen just a basic project, but real time we might be seeing more files. Okay, how these files are managed, how these projects are, code is managed in real time. Exception handling and debugging. Regular expression, which is mostly used for string operations, or like extents string operations, we will be using regular expressions. UiPath orchestrator, front plus back office robots. Okay, and queues. RE framework. RE framework means robotic enterprise framework. This is the RE framework is like used in many enterprise application, because it is having a standard development process. Okay, all the templates are available. Okay, for exception, for initialization, for data handling, for actual logic. So those we will be like learning in this feature session. And test automation, like I will brief about test automation, how it can be like done using UiPath. Projects, okay, 2 projects I will be like a chatbot and AI fabric, and I will be discussing about commonly asked interview questions. Okay, so this entire content will be like covering the advanced developers from beginning, foundation development and as well as advanced development concepts. So beside, I mean, exactly, I may not be following the sequence. I will, but we will be covering the entire topics with the as per the sequence which I follow. Okay, how I will be like covering the topics in regular day-to-day sessions is like I will show you, I will explain the complete. It is not like I do and you follow and you do it on the same time, but that is not the way to do it. So I will explain, I will give the use case scenario or like the requirement. I will discuss about the requirement and then I will show the practical part. Okay, I will do in front of you. I will explain it and then I will give you the document which you have to do it at your own time. But regularly you must complete that lab. If I am giving the lab today, you have to complete it by today itself, or like before next session you have to complete it. So then only we will be able to understand and it will be more interesting. We can better utilize this program. That's how we both are here actually, like we are here. Okay, so just listen and don't forget to don't miss doing the labs or practical. That is more important. So theory part I will be covering here, and theory and practical. Practical you have to do it on your own. Suppose if I am covering some for 1 hour, you might have to spend some 1 hour or 2 hours of time doing that practical. While doing it on your own, then only you will be able to understand it, and you will be getting lot of doubts. You will be getting lot of issues also sometimes. So you need to Google it, and if you are not able to, you can just ask me. I will be giving you. I will be giving a WhatsApp number. You can just post a question. I will be replying in that. Uh, that is how I want to do it actually in this program. It is not like when I'm doing, you have to do it parallelly. Just you don't do it parallelly. It's not going to help actually for you. So you do it, you just copy paste and you will be forgetting it. But if you do it separately, you will be doing alone actually. Just think like that you are given a assignment or you have given a requirement in your organization, or if you are going to do a requirement in your organization, just think like that scenario. Just they will be giving the specification like a requirement. You have to think about that requirement and do it. Okay, so then only you will develop that skills, actually analyzing skills also you will be developing by doing in such a practice alone. Okay, so that's if you have any questions we can discuss about that.
Right now, I don't have questions, Srinivas. Srinivas, am I audible to you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm audible. Yeah, you are audible. Okay. I can hear you. Manoj, you have any questions?
Yeah.
Okay,
Right now,
so beside
right
to
now,
that, beside to this, if any other any examples or any doubts you have, like you can ask in the class, and I can just if which is not covered here, so I will be like taking your doubts and questions, then I will give that examples also, so to the best of my knowledge. Okay.
yeah.
So this is user friendly, like Blue Prism.
Blue Prism is little bit complex. Okay,
But
this is UiPath is much if you see the IDE, this is very friendly UI. Okay,
okay.
you see here data related lists. Okay, integrations, Gmail and Outlook components, all components are here. You see orchestrator related here. Programming, if you see programming related, everything is here. It is UI automation, like browser or application. The application means desktop, browser means web browsers. So OCR means scanning. SAP, with SAP external systems also we can connect using these SAP components. User events. and workflows, different workflows. Okay, flow chart, state machine, sequence. Sequence we discussed today. I mean, we have seen today. State machine and flow charts we will be seeing in future sessions. This is pretty simple UI actually. Like if you notice any other UIs, okay, like see, create some, like this is a Visual Studio. This is also, I mean, simple only, but it will be like this. This is how the Visual Studio look like. Various menus, okay, edit, view, JIT, project, build. Here that UI made simple actually. See, here there are so many things. Okay. If you see here, this is very simple, pretty simple actually. Okay. Activities, snippets, project, and here UI libraries, properties, outline, test. Okay, this is how it looked like. Okay, we will. I mean, once you keep on started, once you start doing this, then you will feel that it's very simple. Okay. I mean, it is when you compare with other RPA tools. This is much simpler actually, simpler UI.
Oh, okay, sir.
Srinivas, I have a small query. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, let me stop my sharing.
Yeah, this is actually beyond. It's not related to today's class, but I did some advancement, and I am facing